It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obi Ajulu or Labisi Ubo, and as usual, I have my co-host, Nima Akashadzibiri. How are you doing today?
Lucy, how are you?
I'm all right.
I'm so happy to see Chika today.
Good to see you too, Nima. It's been a while. Sorry?
You broke me a bit this morning.
It happens.
To see you teary like that was touching.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened.
This rant. God help me. I have a serious bone to pick with the medical health caregivers in Afe Babalola University, Abuad. My daughter, I got a call around 5:58 p.m. yesterday. I was on my way home. I had hosted an event, the Real Estate Stakeholders and Developers Forum yesterday. I hosted an event. So on my way home, I was just on my way to church, and I had gotten a voice note from my daughter's roommates and friends saying that my daughter had issues breathing. She said that her chest was constricted, she couldn't breathe, and so they had to rush her from the hostel with an ambulance to the hospital, to the school's hospital. Now keep in mind that this institution has a world-class hospital facility. Open heart surgeries are conducted at this hospital, so you understand what I'm saying. So the ambulance dropped her off, and then they took her to the emergency center. When they took her to the emergency center, they referred her to GOP. When they got to GOP, nobody spoke to her, nobody attended to her. The first thing that all their efforts were focused on was trying to pull out her medical records. As at after 7, almost 2 hours after she got to GOP, nobody had spoken to her to say, what is wrong with you? Why are you here? What are you experiencing? Let us help stabilize you. If we're going to give you some injection, something, anything, nothing was done 2 hours after she had landed in GOP. They kept sending her and her roommate back and forth from GOP to emergency. Up until they said, they had a glitch in their data systems. They had done some sort of migration, and they had moved all the database from the old model system to the new one. And so in between trying to find, they didn't attend to her up until I called the dean of the school. The dean sent somebody to go to the hospital to kind of, help to fast track things. The person got there, nothing was done. Eventually, after the back and forth calls, because I kept calling back to back, and I was raining down thunder, fire, and brimstone. At that point, they now had to curate a new medical record for her. That was when they now took her vitals. And that was when she now went back to emergency.
After 2 hours.
And a doctor, who I have his name and I have his picture, because I have picture evidence of what I'm saying, was in his office just sitting lackadaisically, didn't speak to her, and eventually said, what is wrong with you? Why are you here? Would you talk to me? And eventually her vitals were taken, and they recommended 3 injections and a couple of drugs for her. Now I had told her, I said, I want to know what those injections are, what they're for. I need the names of them before you are given. Lo and behold, and I want to speak to the doctor so that I understand what those injections are for. Lo and behold, the doctor administered those injections, asked them to go and get it from the pharmacy, took his bag and went home. No doctor got back to me to say, Madam, please calm down. We understand that your kids are far away, 6 hours away, and you cannot, there's only so much you can do, but let's help to abate your fears and concerns. This is what we have discovered. This is our diagnosis or prognosis. This is the course of action. But I sent a message to the dean around 9:42 p.m. saying, please, can I speak to a doctor so that I understand? I have the names of the drugs now. I need to know why, because I wanted to transfer further information to our own doctor. Why were these drugs administered? No, the dean hasn't gotten back to me.
Till now?
Yes.
I think you have to go to the school, first of all.
So I need somebody to reach out to me to explain to me why it took 2 hours. And this is our problem with emergency response. For something that is very, very critical as a child being unable to breathe.
I don't imagine what you went through.
That's unheard of.
Please, somebody should reach out to me from this school. I need to understand and I need to hear why it took that long for prompt care to be given to somebody who had an emergency with breathing.
You also need to go to the school.
Very important. I will.
Children, picking will they talk about here.
But it's good to see you, my lovely sisters.
Thank you, my darling.
Happy to be here.
Please let me just add one thing.
There's no time.
The traffic, as I was coming that road after Chevron, please, government, please look into it. It's very, very bad.
Right now, when we come back, we'll take the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. There's a picture here. Happy birthday, September 17th. It took almost half the page. IGP retired Mohammed Abubakar Adamu, CFR. The greeted said, happy birthday to our leader and mentor, IGP retired Mohammed Abubakar Adamu, CFR. Your journey from a life of service in the Nigeria Police Force to your aspiration to govern Nasarawa State has been a beacon of hope to us, the youth. You embody discipline, vision, compassion, qualities we admire and aspire to follow. On this day, the Adamu Progressive Youth Forum celebrates you and your continued strength. So, Kotsi Adamu Progressive Youth Forum, Nasarawa State. We have stories in the paper. Tinubu's reform revolutionary, ex-speaker Dogara, president inherited a comatose economy. Sanwo-Olu, Lagos critical to Nigeria's world power dream. Okpebholo unveils a roadmap to reform education in Edo. PDP's open ticket in line with Olawepo Hashim's position on zoning. What do we have in The Nation?
Okay, so Governor Okpebholo unveiled the roadmap to Edo educational reform yesterday, and according to the Commissioner for Education, Paddy Iyamo, he says that they are looking to reform the deliberately and holistically reform and reposition education in the state, and so they're looking to rebuild, of course, dilapidated schools and equip them with STEM, that's science, tech, engineering, and whatever, maths. So STEM laboratories, functional classrooms, sanitation facilities, and teaching aids through the Edu Rescue Initiative. And the children previously out of school are also going to be reintegrated with free books and learning materials provided to ensure inclusivity and equity in schools. It says summarily what they're looking at is that their long-term ambition for Edo is to be the national model of education reform, and they want children here not just to be literate, but also to be globally competitive and entrepreneurial and future ready. I like the whole idea of it. They're also looking to take care of these miracle centers or mushroom schools, and partner deliberately with WAEC and NECO and reinforce the fight against exam malpractices within the state. They're looking to provide teachers. They have an agenda to equip teachers, because it said teachers are basically the people who will run the system. So they're going to be providing tablets and standardized lesson scripts in the hands of the educators across the state to ensure that they achieve this. They are also not stopping at primary and secondary education. They're extending it to tertiary education. So there's an ambition of a two lecture theaters of 1,500 seats capacity in the Ambrose Ali University, as well as 600-bed hostel. I like the idea. I hope I'm not just reading newspaper. Because we really liked the other previous administration's idea. But we didn't see it in the primary school in my community. And so I'm going to be focusing on my own end to follow up. If they do it in Benin, they don't get to Edo North, they don't get to Esako West, I'm going to call them out. So we commend them.
Okay. All right, so I have this story on the federal government predicting floods. A fresh bout of flooding in Lagos and 13 other states across the federation. I know that Ramatu was going to take some story as regards flooding, but the federal government has issued a fresh warning of possible flooding in Lagos, Adamawa, and 12 other states. Now, this prediction was released early on Tuesday by the National Flood Early Warning Center of the Federal Ministry of Environment. And according to the report, heavy rainfall is to be expected between September 16th and 18th in 14 states and 52 communities. Now, this prediction was also signed by the Director of Erosion, Flood and Coastal Zone Management Department, Usman Abdullahi Bokani. According to the ministry, the states that are to expect heavy torrents of flooding in the coming days are Akwa Ibom State, Anambra, Adamawa, Cross River, Bayelsa, Delta, Kaduna, Katsina, Kebbi State, Sokoto, and even Lagos State. This came just after 3 days after the government warned of flooding in Adamawa and 10 other states and urging residents to evacuate immediately. Just here, even on the Lekki axis, yesterday was crazy. Some people left their homes. I had a colleague who had left her home at 5:45 from Ado. She was supposed to attend the event that I was hosting. The event was supposed to start at 10. As at after 1, she had just gotten to VI through the Coastal Road route, only for them to discover that at the end of the Coastal Road they had blocks and they had to turn back. And so she couldn't even make the event. A lot of people had to turn back home. You know, just yesterday was just a very sad day across
it continued
various incidents in Lagos.
So I have a story here. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu yesterday said the Center of Excellence is critical to making Nigeria a world power in the foreseeable future. He described the state as the country's laboratory for growth, innovation and reforms, adding that Nigeria today is a regional and continental power because Lagos is its beating heart. So Sanwo-Olu said Nigeria's capacity to convert every remaining ounce of raw potential into the hard currency of world power and global influence will depend to a large extent on Lagos. He calls for a special status for Lagos, addressing the country can scale up its growth and development by treating the state as a pivotal leverage that can help unleash collective national potential. So he delivered this at the maiden distinguished lecture of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, IAA, Victoria Island in Lagos, titled "And Nigeria 2030 Projections of a World Power." They had a lot of dignitaries at the event. Because of time, I wouldn't mention their names. So let me just go to the content. It says, noting that the future of the nation's economic competitiveness lies in Lagos, Sanwo-Olu alluded to the economic realities and potentials that make the former federal capital a factor in national growth. It says this include the Lekki Free Trade Zone, Dangote Refinery and Petrochemical Plant, Eco Atlantic City, the Coastal Road, Badagry to Road, and Sokoto Road, Lagos Ibadan Standard Gauge Road, the proposed Fourth Mainland Bridge, and the Lekki International Financial Center, which makes Lagos a hub of global commerce and finance. So if you read the report, you see that there are a lot of achievements that he mentioned that Lagos had made, and so because of that, Lagos should be given a special status because they are like setting the pace and other states are trying to follow. But we'll be taking a breather here. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
Tasty, something to fill my belly. I want my golden penny noodles full of flavor, the briquette. I want what I want. Golden penny noodles is sweet though. It was made for me. I want what I want. Golden penny noodles is sweet though. It was made for me. I want what I want.
TerraCube, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
Want to know what's coming, guys? The free beach ball! I guess I'd better start again. Oh, here we go, everybody. Free beach ball! Yes, guys, there's a free beach ball in every carton of Capri Sun. Get a carton, get a ball. It's time to play some more. Play! Capri Sun, the taste of fun.
What makes every order special? Their ability to make old situations a lot better? Or the memories they help us create? It's the joy each order brings. We know this And that's why for whatever life's needs you may have, Jumia is here for you. Download the Jumia app now. Jumia, joy delivered.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial *900# and recharge 100 Naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m., all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial *900#. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
Welcome back. We're still reviewing the papers. The Punch now. Major headline: Federal government unveils agric reforms, moves to create 21 million jobs. Tinubu returns to Abuja after cutting short party leave. NAMA pushes for tariff hike, airlines kick. Army arrests notorious IPOB commander in Imo. All reforms drive $18.2 billion deal. Federal government. How Nigeria can attain global power. Sanwo-Olu. Don't derail Awujale's selection, council warns ruling houses. 4 hospitalized as fire got 2 Lagos buildings. Federal government predicts fresh flooding in Lagos. 13 orders. What do we have in the Punch?
Okay, inside this all this inflation we are going through, the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency had their Director General before the stakeholders at a summit organized by the House of Representatives. On House of Representatives Committee on Aviation, and he was saying, you see these flights charges that they impose on flights, 11,000 naira is not economically relevant anymore, because this 11,000 naira fee has been charged since 2008, and so now they must now increase the amount. So I don't know what he's proposing, but he's looking at a 150 to 200,000 per flight charge. Which means that, of course, airline they go na consumer go carry them.
Yes, now.
Yes, it's a business thing.
Yeah.
So he's saying that he called it under the event. The event was themed "Emerging Trends in Global Aviation, Sustainability, Technology, and Digital Transformation," and he's saying that this charge per flight is no longer feasible. So he said, according to him, he said it's supposed to be charged per passenger. But he's been charged per flight, meaning that they don't spread them now. Now you're insisting that they spread additionally. Do you know what it costs now to just go to Abuja and come back? At least 570 go drop out of your account. That's over $500,000 for for any business you're doing. Those days when people like us just used to go to Abuja to go and see cousin and come back.
You can't right now.
Yeah, no.
See which cousin.
See which cousin. All cousins will be fine, but that's what NAMA is proposing. Of course, airline operators are saying, you know what this implication is from consumer ends. Do you know what the implication is?
Exactly.
Yes, please.
Now, boss, go to enter last.
Okay, so I have the story of the army. They said the army arrest notorious IPOB commander in Imo. They said the Nigerian army has announced the arrest of a notorious commander of the indigenous people of Biafra and its armed wing. The Eastern Security Network, identified as Ifeanyi Eze Okorienta, popularly known as Gentle the Yahoo. They said he was captured in his hideout at Akuyihube, local government area of Imo State during a joint operation conducted by the troops of the 34 Artillery Brigade in collaboration with other security agencies. They said the troops also uncovered a workshop used for dismantling stolen vehicles for resale and destroyed 10 motorcycles found at the site. Also, they said these same troops carried out another coordinated missions in Adamawa, Katsina, and Kogi states, rescuing 12 kidnapped victims. They said 5 persons were freed in Madagali local government area of Adamawa, another 5 in Malumfashi local government area of Katsina. when I was coming, I listened on the radio how there were a lot of the Igbos. They were so happy that this kidnapper, or this particular guy, this notorious,
was caught.
Yes, was caught, because they said because of him, a lot of people called in and they were like, they've not been able to travel home. That he's very notorious. And yes, and he doesn't even give you, if you are one of his boys and you just make a single mistake, he'll just shoot you. They even played a video. There was a video they played there on, on radio, and describing, look at the way the guys were begging him, please, please, please. He said, no, I beg you people are useless people. Bah, 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 kill them and all. So you can even tell he doesn't have
There's
empathy, no emotion,
compassion,
nothing. He just kills. So thank God.
Do we have another story?
Well done to our troops.
Okay, Daily Sun now. Rivers all set for Fubara's return. IPOB disowns nabbed notorious pro-Biafra commander, Gentle the Yahoo. Nigerians won't accept insecurity as destiny, Obi warns. Economy, CBN warns Nigerians, says country still faces economic risk despite cooling inflation. Air Peace creates 1,000 jobs for fresh graduates through graduate training program. Edo governor unveils education reforms. UBA hosts world leaders at UNGA 2025, unveils roadmap to unlock Africa's potential. Do we have anything in the sun?
I have a story concerning the $575 billion gap in our transport sector. Now, according to the Director General, Infrastructure Concession and Regulatory Commission, the ICRC, Dr. Job Sinewalefo, he has disclosed that Nigeria's transport sector currently is facing a $575 billion shortfall over the next 2 decades, and this is a gap that threatens to stall the country's economic growth unless urgent reforms and private investment are mobilized. He was speaking during the Nigeria International Railway Conference in Abuja, and he said that this requirement makes transport the second largest investment that we need right after the energy sector, that is projected at $759 billion. He says these funds cannot be raised through public funding alone because our annual budgets have consistently fallen short of the $100 billion that is required to close the infrastructure gap. And so he's now calling for the mobilization of private capital through public-private partnerships so that we can have a viable pathway to deliver a modern, efficient railway system that can meet 21st century needs. He also highlighted some of our ongoing standard gauge projects like the Abuja-Kaduna, Lagos-Ibadan, Warri-Itakpe. He said that all of this, even the concessioned e-ticketing system, these are evidences of successes from public and private partnerships. And so he's calling on more of that because it's obvious that our transport sector is suffering.
Yes. So I have the story of Air Peace. They said they created 1,000 jobs for fresh graduates. They said the Air Peace has announced the creation of 1,000 fresh graduate jobs through its 2025-2026 graduate trainee program in direct reciprocation of the federal government's suspension of the 4% free on-board levy on imports. They said the chairman of Air Peace, that's Dr. Ife Chukwu, praised the president and the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of Economy, Mr. Wale Edu, for listening to the concerns of the industry stakeholders and taking bold steps that safeguard millions of jobs nationwide. So because of this, he's saying that he is responding to this government's gesture by investing directly in young Nigerians. He said just as the government has acted to protect jobs and support businesses, Air Peace is reciprocating this kind gesture by creating 1,000 fresh jobs. They said the graduate trainee program is designed to equip young Nigerians with the skills, exposure, and mentorship required to thrive in aviation and allied industries, while also building a pipeline of competent professionals who will drive growth in this sector. So if you continue with the, so they said that interested candidates can apply by visiting the flyairpeace.com, that's their website, and the registration starts immediately and closes on the 30th of this month. So if you're interested, please.
All right. Nima.
Okay, so I have the River State news. Of course, tomorrow marks the return of the governor to office, and I'm looking forward to it seriously. The Sun gives an account of some civil society organizations who have now written to the sole administrator thanking him for ensuring peace in the state. But that's what the Sun wrote. But we are going to take it from the Guardian, where the president's arrival back into the country yesterday was announced, and of course they're looking to see what will happen before by tomorrow to reinstate the governor and how things will go.
He will be reinstated. Nothing will happen.
No, we are
peace.
We wait with bated breath
and success.
Like say,
No, there won't be there won't be an extension.
There was once an extension just last month. So because of that, we are carefully waiting
with bated breath.
Let there not be an extension.
Hopefully
that extended, I will tell you.
You give me the inside gist. Last final paper for today, Vanguard. Rivers hopes mixed views as emergency ends tomorrow. A private depot deserted as Dangote refinery begins direct fuel supplies. Experts disagree as presidency says inflation dropped to single digits. Bandit commander Adio Alero kills traditional ruler in Safe, Zamfara. NIM-SIM linkage reduces fraud, boosts national security. A federal government drags Showore Facebook X to court over criminal post against Tinubu. A Lagos key to attaining Nigeria's global influence. Food security. Federal government unveils new agric investment incentives, and Nigerian profs earn gardeners 3-hour pay. Who has the food security?
Nami Abito. So the vice president was at the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO's National Sub-Regional Hand-in-Hand Investments Forum in Abuja yesterday, and he announced fresh incentives to boost agricultural investment under the President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, and said this is part of the reforms to unlock Nigeria's vast food production potential through policies that serve as a game changer for agriculture and infrastructure. Yes, they are taking the story, but we couldn't get to it of farmers locally complaining because some of these incentives meant that there are more imports, and it's affecting local production and affecting price. But price control is inhibiting profits for local producers, while imports are open because they want more foods in the market to beat down competition. But then it's affecting our local farmers and producers.
We
have
to
do
look at
something.
security
Yes,
first
we have to do something.
There's no enabling environment
Thank
for
you
farmers
so
to even
much,
go to the
ladies.
farms.
That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we'll move on to the topics for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Want to know what's coming, guys? The free beach ball! I guess I'd better start again. Oh, here we go, everybody. Free beach ball! Yes, guys, there's a free beach ball in every carton of Capri Sun. Get a carton, get a ball. It's time to play some more. Play! Capri Sun. The taste of fun.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. No cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic, and enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
The world needs moms. With a splash of golden terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Change no thanks into yes please. Resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing tasty family meals is all that matters. Where there are moms, there is love. Golden Terra Oil. Pour pure love.
But why? No, see, say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal. Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull Holographic Seal Tape, your favorite authentic Big Bull rice, 50 kg and 25 kg. Now with holographic seal tape. This is to ensure you get the premium product from Big Bull Rice. Do not buy if the holographic seal tape is not on the bag or is broken. Big Bull Rice. Tasty rice nourished you.
Imagine lovely meals you can cook with these ingredients. You spend heavily, but no guarantee of a tasty meal. Not making a right choice of seasoning cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. 1 cube, endless possibilities.
Every day, Nigerians hit the road, but many forget that road rules exist to keep you, your loved ones, and the other road users safe. In just 2 minutes, let's clear things up. Law 1. Red means stop, yellow means slow down, green only if it's safe. Running red lights puts lives at risk. Law 2. One way means one way. Driving against traffic is a fast way to cause disasters. Law 3. Speed doesn't mean skill. It means danger. Slow down, stay alive. Law 4. The shoulder is for emergencies, not shortcuts. Law 5. Overtaking into oncoming traffic is a deadly risk. There is no second chance. Law 6. Drink and drive? You're not just risking your life, you're risking everyone else's. Law 7. 1 second of distraction can cost a life. Put the phone down. Law 8. Your vehicle isn't built for excess. Respect the limits. Law 9. The zebra crossing means stop. Every time. Law 10. Road markings are rules, not decorations. Broken white lines you can overtake, if it's safe. Solid lines, stay in your lane. Double yellow, no stopping, no parking, and no waiting at any time. These rules are to protect everyone. Every action counts. Wait at the lights, wear a seatbelt, stay in your lane. Remember that together, we make the road safer for you, your loved ones, and other road users. Be a responsible Nigerian.
Thanks for staying with us. A fire erupted at Afriland Towers, Broad Street, Lagos Island, after an electrical inverter reportedly exploded when power was restored. Panic followed as some trapped occupants leapt from upper floors while emergency crews worked to contain the blaze and treat victims. The incident has sparked debate. While responders were praised for quick action, critics says it highlights poor safety standards, weak building compliance, and flaws in Lagos power infrastructure. What are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation on 02016352013 or 09024163440 or tweet us at TVC using the hashtag YourViewTVC. So we saw the viral videos yesterday when the fire was ongoing and many people in the buildings were trying to jump down. I think there was a particular video we saw that somebody jumped without anything. He was the first to jump down, and people were screaming whether he died and all of that. But there's a report in the papers today. They said 4 yet to be identified persons are currently battling their lives after fire gutted the 6-story building at the Afriland Tower, which houses a branch of the United Bank for Africa and other companies on Broad Street in Lagos Island, Lagos. It says that those people are currently in the hospital, battling for their lives. We are not sure, but we're hoping that they survive. And many people are coming out to say that it took time for the first responders to arrive there, because we saw Nigerians trying to help them. Some were throwing down the foams from the buildings and trying to land safely on the foams. It was really, really a painful, sad story to see that in 2025, in a city like Lagos, we're still saying almost the same thing from time to time. So, ladies, what are your thoughts on this?
No, but honestly, when I first saw the video, the images that hit me were very scary. This is a nightmare. I saw the video of a man who looked unconscious. I don't know if it's the man that you speak of who had jumped, but he was on a flat surface, but still on a higher level. He was unconscious. And I think the debate or the struggle was trying to figure out how to get him to the ground floor, because he was still on a high. He was not at the top floor. He was at the middle floor on a flat surface, but he was unconscious. So how do you now get him in that unconscious state to the ground floor so that you can get help? And this is something that we also need to speak about when there's an emergency and people are unconscious. First off, do people around, do staff have the requisite knowledge about what to do, the very first things to do when somebody is unconscious? How do you move them? What do you do to administer that first aid response and care? Because there's a way you can move somebody who is unconscious. You might be aggravating the issue or the problem. And then that video about the people who were trying to get, there are some ladies who were at the very top floor. No ladder had gotten to them, and you could see the fear in their eyes, because we don't know what's going on in the building. We heard that smoke had engulfed all the floors. There was a fire outbreak in the inverter room in the basement, but these ladies were high above ground, really high above ground. No ladders had been secured for them, so you could see them trying to contemplate exits. The people on the other floor, some of the men had gotten ladders, so they were coming down with the ladders. But the ones on the higher floors, I really, really do not know to what extent and how robust our emergency systems are. They said that the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service got there pretty much on time. But if people are thinking and contemplating jumping off on their own, then that says to you, how well in time did they get there?
Don't trust.
Because if in the very first quick minutes of this happening, there was a pathway for rescue, people would not arbitrarily want to endanger their lives by finding ways to escape on their own. And in places like this where it's high traffic areas, central business districts, some of these buildings are really old. It calls into question facility management. It calls into question health and safety initiatives, drills. How often do we have a body that goes to check, okay, if a building is 50 years of age and above, how often do we need to go and inspect and check that there are fire extinguishers, the electrical systems are all on par? How often do we do upgrades? Because buildings are old and everything encased in those buildings too will fall into a state of disrepair. These are the issues that we need to be tackling. And for organizations like this, when there's a fire outbreak, sometimes you can't help it, but do we follow drill? Do we do fire drills every now and then so that everybody knows this is the muster point? But in cases like this too, then again, the emergency exits there might be no pathway really. So what do you do at this point?
You don't talk everything.
You have talked everything. For me, a fire accident is more than just an accident. It's a stress test for every building. And I think Lagos Island should now be an emergency case on its own for every governor coming in, because you see, movement in between those buildings is always tight. I know the governor, I must attest to it, has tried to sanitize. So those days when we used to shop and you'll be walking and there's no place to pass, all of that has been cleared. So we know. But we saw yesterday, and what I saw broke my heart to the extent that there were agberos on that first floor. Boys telling people to jump in such a building. And it was only men who were trying. So I'm wondering, if you're not wearing a trouser,
how do you
to walk, what would you do?
Would you care at that point?
So you would care. Because is that not two deaths now? You're jumping between two very dangerous situations. So
I'm saying, would you care how you're dressed at that point?
How you want to take jump now? Where the strength? You'd be worried. So what I saw broke my heart, and I kept thinking, because I know the fire service response team in Lagos has steadily been improved. Steadily, we had them on the show when they had the first GME came here. We've talked to the rescue GM as well. We've seen the system, of monitoring and all of that. We've seen it, and I don't know how it wasn't effective. What we ought to see when the pictures were coming from this fire incident was how effective it has continued to be. We couldn't see that. What I saw, that man who was being asked to jump, and he went back and he got something and he jumped, and another side of the building, I just felt, where was the rescue team? what were they doing and how did they show up? Now, you also mentioned facility management of this building. What's the name of the estate? The
Afiland
Tower.
Yeah.
You know, how often do they do that facility check? Did they install any form of fire
breaker? Because he said it was when the power was restored.
Yes, that's
that the inverter
so fire breakers, fire extinguishers, drills. Do you even have a team? Most, in fact, I cannot just say all of our public facilities, private and companies, do not have fire rescue teams. The only places you see them are these oil companies. They are the ones who have their own stations, fire extinguishers, even their own fire trucks, water trucks, and maybe the military. But most of them, these banks, these buildings, you don't see them. And it's sad because, you know, people do business there every day. And we're waiting.
Volumes.
Yes, and you prevent accidents by having these things, you know, just planning ahead. But they don't have, because what we saw yesterday, those people within, if they knew how to operate it, if there was a team within, something would have been done, but nothing could be done. And the fire was already threatening them, and it was safer to jump. So they were considering that option, and that was totally heartbreaking for me. This stress test didn't work. Who blocked roads? Why did the truck go there? Can the trucks not extend to the height of that building enough to rescue people? Because, you know, these trucks have this extension, you know, that goes up and can help people. And, you know, firefighters can also stay there and target with fire water, shoot at the source of the fire from that height. All of those drills were not seen. I'm waiting to hear the report of how many people were injured this morning. I expect that should be out this morning. I saw another gory picture. I hope it's not from Lagos State. I hope that was a lie. Online of another building that was on fire. They said on the same Lagos Island. And in the video, the building detached from the structure and fell, floors falling down. This morning when I saw that, I was like, he was there, written that it was also on the marina. But I'm hoping, I'm praying sincerely that it was a fake video. Because that shows that for hours, there was really no response. When buildings, you know, suffer fire for a while, for a long time, the buildings cave in. And so that was what I saw in that video. I hope, you know, that the governor is on top of this. He has to be. And if this happened under his watch in Lagos State, they should investigate the cause, investigate the rescue team, the response
unit, it took them to
and
respond.
how long it took them. Somebody should be answering questions. They used to do reports. Even those days, under the Federal Fire Service, they used to do report after every fire rescue that they've done.
Okay, Ramatu.
So so when I saw that story, first of all, the first thing that came to my mind, I always say this, that we have very intelligent civil structural engineers in Nigeria. I just wonder why we that kind of a thing still happens in this, where other countries, they are there building, they are even going higher, almost getting to the sky. And we still cannot maintain just how many floors of building and all. So first of all, when I saw that video, the first thing is, if we have that kind of building, what are the things in place? First of all, before we start even talking about the government coming to rescue and everything, what are we doing in that building that we have not even thought of during emergencies, things like this, when they happen? What do we do? What are we doing? How proactive are we when such things happen? Number one, I realized that we lack that, that means most of the workers on that building, they have not trained their staff on how to manage in case of things like this, emergencies like this. Just as small as our estate. My son knows how to put off fire. We always have this drill that comes every year. They come, they teach us on how to put, when fire starts in the house or anything, how to put it off. This is what to do. This is how to use the fire extinguisher and all. That means the fire extinguishers in those buildings are not working. And the staff do not even know how to use it. So you must train your staff. You must train your staff on how to use these things. Because when you go to all these big buildings, you realize that the fire extinguisher, you see them on the wall. But that means most of your staff do not know how to use it. I think it's time for us to start looking at how we can be, you know, teaching our staff on emergencies like this so that they will also take part before the external ones come in. And we all know that there are so many factors that will stop the external ones from coming, like the traffic, and then, you know, the road is not wide enough and everything. And that particular marina, the houses there, they are old houses. The structures are no longer strong, and you find out that whenever we go to shop there, in fact, the government needs to look at where there are plenty people, because in that market, every single day, there are more than 1 million people in that market.
Passing through.
So you must make sure that that place is safe for people to be able to shop and be able to move around. You find out, like what Nima said, when you go shopping, the corners, they are still there, not totally eradicated. They are still there. So that fire that you saw, that you're saying you hope it's true. It's true now because the video it's happened upstairs, and then the whole video, the whole building came down. It was fire that was, and even businesses do not have small businesses, shops. They don't even have fire extinguishers
to even help their own case.
So they will just sit down. Somebody just put his hand on his head. When you allow see his goods, and we don't even have insurance, whatever. So the guy is going to start from the beginning all over again. So this is really worrisome. Something needs to be done.
We'll take a short break here. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Polo, the reward of success.
Guys, food is ready.
Suitable for jollof rice, stew, spaghetti, and yam portage. Cooked to impress.
Good, tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Smart Balance. Smart Balance rice bran oil is rich in gamma-oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma-oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance oil. Good food, no worries.
Why? Daddy is coughing, Gina is coughing, so I just ran for cover.
Uniplex cough syrup contains ammonium chloride, diphenhydramine hydrochloride, sodium citrate, and menthol crystals to give you relief from sore throat, cold, and chesty cough.
Daddy, are we safe now?
Yeah. Uniplex cough syrup. Cage the cough, free your voice.
Breaking news. The home is under attack by stains, disease-causing germs, and so much more. An all-out war. But not for long, cause Hypo is here. Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
Protect every day with Hypo. Dirty and stains no fit do us shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go Hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo. Cleaning every surface, sanitize the home. Shine every corner, enter every corner. Your sitting room, kitchen, even the toilets. For cleaning, Hypo now. No lose guard, protect your home with Hypo now.
And just like that, the day is saved.
Mommy, Daddy, we have so much fun.
Germs always find a way back.
No greed. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo go Hypo.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small wind where the carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go buy ball.
Victor, even you, they use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money Point, made for your progress.
Come 1st October as Nigeria marks 65 years of independence. We pause to ask a profound question. Who is a Nigerian? At 65, the question of our identity and nationhood has never been more urgent. What does it mean to truly be Nigerian?
We all have a responsibility to protect this democracy because it is the only system that guarantees our freedom.
What do we owe this nation, and what does this nation owe us?
If the citizens are not standing to hold the government accountable, if we are not raising the question that we need to raise about the kind of middle class and the kind of political class that we have today, it is very difficult for us.
Join TVC News Town Square on this conversation for every Nigerian. A dialogue that could shape our future. Wednesday, October 1 at 6 p.m.
Welcome back. We're still discussing the fire outbreak, and there's a statement that was released by Honorable Prince Taiwo Ajibade Onyekon, Executive Chairman, Lagos Island Local Government, and I want to take it. It says, I personally led a delegation of key officials, the Lagos Island Local Government engineer, the head of medical services, and our dedicated sanitation workers to the scene of the fire outbreak at Afriland Towers, Broad Street, where we joined forces with emergency rescue team. And he said something here. He says, the unfortunate occurrence is yet another reminder of the need for strict adherence to safety standards in high-rise installations, as well as continued investment in proactive disaster management systems. As the Executive Chairman of Lagos Island Local Government, I commend the bravery of our first responders and assure our people that we remain steadfast in protecting lives, safeguarding property, and restoring calm in the face of emergencies. Investigations are ongoing, and we will continue to put measures in place to prevent a reoccurrence of such incidents. But this is 2025, and like you ladies have rightly said, this isn't the time that we're still going to be having conversations like we're just starting the country anew. Those buildings are very tight, and because they are very tight, if, for instance, Lagos State is giving 1 truck per local government to different local governments, fire service truck, they should dedicate more than 1, 2, 3 to that sort of area because of the the volume of activities and people that pass through there. That's one. Secondly, the fire service should also be stationed somewhere very close in every highbrow area where there are a lot of activities going on. You see that you are supposed to have fire service stationed there so that it's easy access. Once anything happens, we are moving. 2, somebody also talked about training. It's not just enough to set up buildings, have good infrastructure, but people need to be trained regularly. I remember when I was a classroom teacher, from time to time, an alarm would just sound. You're supposed to leave everything. That's a train. It's a drill.
And then you do what you have rehearsed to do.
Thank you. You're supposed to leave everything that you have. If you're teaching, if you have your laptop, your phone, everything, leave it, and then start filing out. And we were taught, even the nursery school children were taught on how to file out when there's a fire outbreak. You will lie on the floor and you move like that gradually. But I've noticed something about us as a people. We're very emotional. And when crisis happens like that, sometimes we suspend our logical thinking and we start shouting. So even if you've been trained over and over, it takes consistent training for you to master that this is not the time to put my hand on the head and start shouting, but it's time to move out immediately, or it's time to find the fire extinguisher and start doing something. But are we in that place where we can calm down and do what is necessary? Do you think we've gotten to that point?
I want to make a case for the Lagos State, for instance. As you mentioned, training. I know that when you have a fire service, they parade every morning, they come out for their training and their drills. But whatever might have happened, I believe there's a human factor
to it.
So let the governor investigate why the response was not swift. That's on one side.
Yeah.
Number two is that if you check in most of our houses, for instance, I don't know about you, but my house, the inverter is outside at the entrance, so that the technician that will come and fix it. So if an inverter caused this fire, for instance, it's the entrance that was blocked. I don't know whether you're following.
Yeah, I understand.
Nobody in that building will run into the fire.
Yes, true.
So what happens to the exit?
The other, yeah.
There has to be two exits, emergency exit of the building. In our station here, we know,
exit.
Everything has been, So what happens to the emergency exit? If that fire was maybe at a particular place in that building and nobody could go to that place, what alternative did they have in that building for the people who owns that building? For the bank who ran business in the building, to what extent did they provide safety for their staff? Because now we're going to call government, but if somebody go and check now, the extinguisher in that building had expired. People don't know there's a shelf life to extinguishers. These are chemicals that over time their efficacy just fades off with time. So there's a shelf life, and when it's expired, you then change it. Now road safety they teach us for our car. They don't care. Madam is say fine.
Yeah,
say fine. And then they show us the one for our car. But the ones
in the
for
building.
our buildings, nobody checks it. We used to have a fire blanket in my house as a child, and it was over the cooker. We had two over the cooker, one over the freezer. Do you know that when fire happened, my mom, we had the fire, it was pre-Ramadan. And so my mother was like, let me get up and just make the food so that by the time they are calling prayer in the morning, everybody will be ready to eat. She put the boiling bucket, those days of boiling ring, over the freezer. And they put the boiling ring. And then she slept with all of us and woke up to our freezer burning.
Hey.
And so fire blanket is not a fire blanket thing. The fire extinguisher at home in the firefighter's house was expired. Yes. It was my mother's knowledge of what chemicals she mixed that she did in one bucket and then poured over it.
Extinguished it. Wow.
And then the first thing is to respond by cutting off power. There was lights, and so she cut off power first, and then she started screaming, and all of us then came in. But I remember the one that happened in our new house when we moved to a new house. This one was when I was much younger in Iba Estate then. The one in the new house, it was me. It was over the phone. This table phone. There was this table phone provider back then I used to come to the marina to buy the phone, and then they would connect us at home. We could use the telepoint or something. We put the phone there, and the fire started from the wires of that phone. My mother while she was trying to cut off power because we left power outside now. My mom fell, passed out on the floor. I responded by finally cutting it off. Then we did the mixture to put off the fire within the house. My sister, one of us, did not wake up till we were done with all the chaos that happened that night. So what are the measures that these people put in place? How conscious are Nigerians of possibility of fire happening in their homes? So those of us who buy plastic toys, I was talking when we took the story on fire the last time about my best friend's house, and he had so many toys, cars, bikes, everything made of plastics. Fire started from that room. Dangerous. Everything melted.
You just reminded me of this thing, boiling ring and the days of hot plates. I remember during university days, we used to use it in school. We've had serious incidences like that happened. Fire gutted out and we were able to, those days, they will now put water, they'll put detergent in water and we'll just mix it and then we'll put out the fire. That's how we put off the fire whenever something like that happens. But it happened a lot of times. At the end of the day, they now banned it. They say don't bring in hot plates and no boiling ring. And that was how it stopped. That was how it ended.
Even in homes now, you're not supposed to use it.
So I'm going to say in a country that we know that flood, fire, and building collapsing, we know that these are our major issues right now because it's happening a lot of times. A lot of buildings have collapsed in the past, we've seen, and fire has been gotten out of, especially that Balogun market
what are the measures? What are the things that we're supposed to do? First of all, each shop, like I mentioned earlier, must have at least, they must have their fire extinguishers. Now, it's not everybody that knows how to use it.
They should learn how to use it.
You must be trained. You must know how to use it. And even they themselves, they must know how to make sure that those kind of things do not happen.
Connections.
Do you know that there was a time when we were staying in Bagada, we woke up and water was in the house. Flooded. My husband just got down and just put his legs inside water, boom. In fact, the water was much. But the first thing, because my husband, you know, training in their place of work and everything, the first thing he did was to go and put off power. So you can imagine if the power was on.
A naked wire on the floor.
Naked wire, and that's how we will have gotten electrocuted. And another thing again, that one, once they come and rescue you, they put you on the floor, there's how you should react to such. That one too are things that we all need to learn. We just need to learn all these emergency
We'll take
things.
a short break now. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Chika is waiting to offload. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish your kids. Milo 3-in-1 is such a smart choice. Milo, energy to go further.
From Nestle.
In today's fast-paced world, your health can't wait, not even at work. Introducing the Gate Gold Office Exercise Bike, your desk-friendly wellness solution. Combat workplace sluggishness, improve blood circulation, burn calories, boost your energy, and stay laser-focused. Need recovery or a gentle fitness routine? Meet the cross-recumbent rehabilitation and recovery bike. Ideal for physiotherapy, the elderly, or anyone on a wellness recovery journey. From premium gym equipment to rehabilitative machines, Gate Gold Nigeria Limited has been a pioneer in the fitness industry, empowering thousands across Nigeria. Call us 24/7 or email. Visit us in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, or Onisha. Paddle your way to productivity. Gate Gold Nigeria, empowering your wellness journey.
Oh, remember how mom used to wake up before everybody to make breakfast, iron our uniform? Let's surprise that woman with something special.
Reward your mom with a trip to Zanzibar in the 2025 Three Crowns Mom of the Year competition. Write a note using each letter in your mom's name and submit with any of these on our website or at any of our collection centers. T's and C's apply. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money points, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer. Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as Sure Banker. Progress na small wind where they carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go buy ball.
Victor, even you dey use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money Point, made for your progress.
The game is changing, consumers are winning, businesses are serving, every consumer needs.
Yes, every business must play fair and deliver what they promise. Never promise the world and deliver a village. FCCPC, promoting choice, ensuring fairness.
Welcome back. We're still having this fire outbreak conversation. You ready?
So I wanted to answer the question that you asked about readiness in terms of mental readiness when something like this happens. When a fire breaks out, are Nigerians predisposed to understanding and knowing the very first quick action steps that they need to take? You see, the truth of the matter is, no matter how prepared you are for disaster or emergency, sometimes when it is upon you, you find yourself doing something sometimes completely different from what you had rehearsed or prepared. So it's important. That is why it's very important that we continue to drill it into ourselves like clockwork. We need to constantly return it into our subconscious to know if fire breaks out, first step A, next step B and C. And then not just your actions alone, not just you, it's a collective responsibility. Being able to save lives and do the right things is something that, because your actions can negate the good actions that I am taking to forestall, or trying to contain the situation. If I'm doing something that helps and you are doing the wrong thing that just sets us back, there's a clash. So it's important that everybody across board knows exactly what to do and we're moving along that same path, which is why training across board is very important. But one more thing I wanted to speak about is the fact of when we see something, it's important to say something. This fire outbreak that started out in the basement because of the inverters, is this the very first time we're having any snag? I'm not saying a fire outbreak proper. Is this the first time that a snag was noticed in the functionality of this inverter system? And when we noticed it the first time, what was done? And then even when this fire actually broke out and smoke started to rise, the people who were within the immediate environment of this basement, I'm sure that in the basement we had some security operatives, we had maybe some engineers. What did they do? What alarm did they sound out? So if those people who are at the first point of contact with environments like this know what to do and do it quickly, maybe, just maybe, we're able to contain.
I agree with you,
better.
Chika. One of the things we see is a lack of preparedness across board. We are not a proactive nation, and it's unfortunate. We are more reactive. So we wait till everything goes down before we move. We do not sit down to say, what if this happens and that happens? What am I putting in place? What measures am I putting here to make sure it doesn't happen? We're not a preventive.
God forbid people.
God forbid. We're not a preventive people.
It's not my portion.
It's not you people that say we should not.
It's not our portion.
Something to expand.
No. We didn't say that. We didn't say that. But we have a call on the line before I continue my thoughts. Good morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning. Nima, don't confuse me today.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. We can hear you.
My name is Adejoke Biobaku. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show, Adejoke.
I'm so glad I got through today, especially because this is my passion and this is my business, health and safety.
Happy to have
you.
So
I'm so encouraged by the level of knowledge being shared. I know Nima and yourself, you've actually touched the real core problem. There should be fire drills in every organization, at least once in 3 months. And also every member of staff should be trained in fire safety, emergency response, and first aid. This should be made compulsory. I know we have Lagos State Safety Commission, they are doing their best, but a lot more needs to be done. Whereby if there's an incident, there will be people who are trained in emergency response within the organization. Those are the first responders. So when a fire starts, it does not start on a large scale. Even when the building is closed, there should be smoke alarms in place. There should be fire extinguishers, like Nima rightly noted. Fire extinguishers are not decorations. They expire. They are made. Most of them are made of dry chemical powder, which often kicks in. They need to be serviced every 3 to 6 months, checked, serviced, and then that fire drill is very important. I remember when I was working in the UK, the very big building like CBN, every single soul has to get out of that building, and then if you don't get out, there is a penalty for that. You get out, they do the head count, everybody goes to the fire assembly point, they do it. We don't take safety seriously in this country. We have the culture of safety is something we just sweep under the carpet. Like we all know, is when things like this happen, blah, 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 then everything dies, and then the next one. But we need to take, I was even hoping that when the curriculum changed, that health and safety will be, part of this curriculum that will be taken, like, please, from 3 students, so that when these children know it, they'll pass it on to their homes and then the society at large.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You just took that out of my mouth. You know, I was trying to explain that we are people that are not really prepared for things. We are not a proactive nation, and that has got to change. And one of the ways we can change it is to start very early, so it becomes a habit. It becomes a part of our everyday life to know exactly what happens when somebody faints here, how to do the CPR or whatever they call it, when somebody drowns, what to do, how to move the person, you know, when the fire breaks out, what to do, how to...
Those are life skills.
Those are like swimming and driving, you know, those are life skills that we should start early as schools. I was giving an example with the school that I used to teach, that if anything happens, those children know how to behave without emotions when there's a fire outbreak. You know why? Because they train them at least twice every term. That training just happened. As we're sitting here now, you just hear alarm. All of us will file out. Whatever you're doing, drop it, and they're used to it. But let me ask Nima, how do we only blame government when things like this happen? How about the responsibility of the businessmen who are in those environments, making money, counting profits, and not sitting down to think, how do we help ourselves with, do we support the government to say, okay, we need at least 2-3 trucks around this area? Do we get a space to say that this is going to be our own fire service, which we will fund with the help of government and well-meaning Nigerians to support that? How do we take responsibility? Are we going to only wait for government to come and fix our wires, for government to come and, you know, get us the fire trucks and everything? And when government is not able to do that because of the overpopulation, we sit down and allow our businesses crumble. But darling, before you answer that, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Oh, remember how mom used to wake up before everybody to make breakfast, iron our uniform? That's surprised that woman with something special.
Reward your mom with a trip to Zanzibar in the 2025 3 Crowns Mom of the Year competition. Write a note using each letter in your mom's name and submit with any of these on our website or at any of our collection centers. T's and C's apply. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Generals, we have a crisis. They're everywhere. We have only a few seconds to contain them.
The ultimate weapon, Carex, kills 1 million+ germs in seconds. Let's deploy. Win the war against germs. Carex kills 1 million+ germs in seconds.
There are common features about successful people. They are healthy and active with a mindset to win. They start their day with a good meal and support their systems with Didion syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12. 2 spoonfuls of Didion's taken straight or mixed with your beverage for the office, gym or picnic keeps you in top form all day and you are always good to go. Didion syrup of hemoglobin. You are good to go.
Breaking news. The home is under attack by stains, disease-causing germs, and so much more. An all-out war. But not for long, cause Hypo is here.
Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
Protect every day with Hypo. Dirty and stains no fit do us shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo. Cleaning every surface, sanitizing home. Shine every corner, enter every corner. Your sitting room, kitchen, even the toilets. For cleaning, Hypo now. No lose guard, protect your home with Hypo now.
And just like that, the day is saved. Germs always find a way back.
No greed. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo go hypo.
We sabi say at times to see na to confirm. Now wetin person see, na you go believe, and you no wan buy wetin you never see. If na your tori be that, you fit to pick your order at any Jumia station wey dey near you and pay there and then. Wetin you dey wait for? Download the Jumia app. Sharp sharp. Jumia, joy don land.
Welcome back. I asked the question earlier on how Nigerians like us are not taking responsibility but always passing the buck.
So it's quite sad to say this. The government, particularly Lagos State, have done what they can so far. I'm not saying they've done their utmost best, but they could have. There's room for improvement. But you see, we, the people they are doing it for, most of this improvement in infrastructure that they do for us, we're not ready for it. Particularly that island market, most of the markets, and I'm going to call the markets that I know. Go to the markets that you see. The article market at Abolition, for instance. If you stand under that market, you'll be wondering how these people do daily business, looking at the cracks, the piles breaking out, the pipes, the iron that was used for the decking, pulling out and pointing out at them. And you know what they do? Whenever you come in and you call attention of one person, they do a meeting and they patch it. So tomorrow there's a collapse of that building. Government.
Yes.
And most of them do not have insurance.
Wow.
And it's the activity every day that even worsens the structure of those buildings. I said, you go to Lagos Island, you'll be hearing bang, boom, boom. If you go into those buildings where those warehouses are, where we buy cheap shoes, I don't know if you know that area. But there's this spot where I find the most beautiful, as they tear carton like this, and they carry the best shoes, but in the most affordable price. When you see them on Instagram, it's ×3 the price I bought on the island. But what stopped me from doing those things, maybe after I became popular, was I'll be on the market, I'll be hearing, as in, what do they knock for this building? As if somebody has the heart to knock this building.
I'm telling you.
What are you people nailing, structure-wise? Now, that brings me to the admin, the head of the markets. Because of this market, they better money they flow.
Yes.
Market elections, monies are going.
Facility managers.
Before that, they're supposed to hire now. They're supposed to hire facility managers. They will nail new extensions to the building. Those who have the front shop, downstairs shop, nail extensions the way they like. Everybody's market, even in the streets, except to the road. Everybody's doing things that we're doing things anyhow. So I wonder what the role of Iyaloja is beyond organizing the people for elections every 4 years. Is it not to organize that the market is a safe place to do business? Is it until we have fires like this that you finally react? Those boys are outside. Why are they there? Why is it such a norm to have people just anyhowness of things going on? We will now look at it and call government. We only call government when the fire finally happens and they are going to budget and planning. Where is that office they used to go for money? Or governor is now forced to give out handouts because, you people will not vote him the next election because when that fire happened, now us Igbo people get the market and governor na Yoruba man, he no respond to us, he no give us money. Those kind of pettiness. As opposed to the most important things, functional market spaces, safe spaces, functional fire service station, training for market people on how to use their generator, and enforcement of those people who abuse those rules.
Exactly.
Come and lock their shop, carry their generator away. Let the green trucks, they call this environment, let them come in and arrest those people whose generators are smoking other people, because carbon is dangerous.
It is.
And you cannot inhale carbon for... Okay, go on and take
we have a call on the line. Daniel from Ojodu Bega. Daniel, are you there? Oh, sorry, we lost that.
Okay, so I hear you, and I'm going to say, what I'm going to say is that it's the sole responsibility of the government.
To do what?
To make sure that, the place is safe for people to come and shop. Just like what Nima said, the revenue generated from that market, especially that particular market.
It's not going to government.
Wait, hold on. They pay rent.
Now Iyaloja them they collect money and Baba Loja.
But aside Iyaloja,
we are the owners of that space. What comes out of markets every. Do you understand how these market structures are? All the way to the east. They are market chairmen, even in the trade fair here, they pay their dues. Each shop. So what is your business? Is it just for election and to share a part for them and do what they do in the trade fair market, organize prayers? Is that what you want to do in the market? We have seen that marketplaces are no longer safe for human habitation. and commercial
and that has to be fixed.
So you have to be more technical and reasonable than all of those nonsense.
Yes.
When they pay all those shop dues to you, all those yellow dues to you, if it is not channeled into their training of how to prevent fires and how to prevent stampedes and all of that in those markets, and even secure the market so that some of them that are into very nefarious activities within the markets are also reported. A lot of nonsense happen.
Okay, but
I'll come back to you, Ramatu. Let's take this caller on the line. Michael from Ikotu. Michael, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, talking on the fire incidents we have in Lagos. Like, as a professional, I'm a fire and safety officer trained in Dubai. So I also practiced there for many years. So I know what I'm saying. These fire issues we have in Lagos, I think they are more for structural issues, system failures, because even if you have your fire bombs, you have your extinguishers, you don't control or manage such fires like we had yesterday. You can't use your fire extinguisher on such fires. And when you have buildings that are so close to each other, proximity now, like you don't even have access to fight such fires. So
we can barely hear you in the studio, and if we don't hear you, we won't be able to contribute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Thank you.
Yeah, what I'm saying is preventing fire, the best way of preventing fire is fighting fire is to prevent it. You prevent, that's the best way to fight it. So how do you prevent such fires now? The kind of wires that we allow people to use, the equipment we use, they are so substandard. You find out that most of these fires are from substandard materials and poorly connected electrical wires or appliances. Such issues should be tackled.
Okay.
When we tackle that, then I think we'll go a long way in preventing the fires, because the truth is, even in the very, very developed societies, managing fire incidents are always very difficult. Fighting fires are always very difficult. So the best way is to prevent it. So like I said, you go back to your the kind of equipment we use, materials we use, we build our houses. Those are issues the government should, I mean, they're trying a lot. The government in Lagos is doing a lot. They should look towards that angle more, because if you buy all the fire extinguishers in the world, have all the fire trucks in the world, when fires like this happens, you can't manage, you can't control it.
You
can't manage it. Yeah, that's
Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you.
Okay, so Nima, I wanted to say something. Nima, don't interrupt me. You cannot keep interrupting Ina.
No, they come inside talk, so make I not interrupt you. Talk your talk.
Okay,
so call me, I will interrupt you.
So the thing is, I'll call out the government, because the government is the responsibility of the government to make sure that that place is safe for people to do their businesses, safe for every citizen, every indigenous of that place to be able to do businesses successfully and very well. Because that market, that particular market, is the biggest market in Africa. And a lot of us come from the north. I remember when people come from the north to come and buy from to come and buy goods from that particular market. So that market is very big. If only I can just suggest that all those food people, because there are illiterates and there are literates in that market. So how do you coordinate the illiterates? That is where the government comes in, so that they can put everybody together, so that everybody can think along the same course. Those people that are moving around in the market, that, you know, when you go to the market, they will say, come, let me take you to this shop and all of that. You can have food soldiers that can provide, that can help during emergencies like this. You know, put the food soldiers, and they are wearing their overall with their safety boots in case of fire, in case of all of these things.
What I'm hearing is this is just the sole responsibility of government.
Yes.
After government has done their part, the people who are inhabiting the markets, the people who are selling and making money in the shops don't have any part to play. Just for us to wait for government to come and keep fixing the roads and keep doing everything they need to do all the time. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay. I'm saying that the part of safety in terms of
it's
fire, building, is the government that should handle that.
Yes.
Because you can hear what Nima said. Nima said that at some point they'll be patching the building and all that. You know, it's the government that will come and say, okay, this building must, you know, we are going to, it's going to, okay, you can't sell in it. And when you can't sell in it and send you out of it, you fire that.
My point, Ramatu, is the fact that government cannot do everything for us. That's the truth. If you are a tenant in a house and you're in a maybe 3-bedroom or whatever it is, your roof does KKK, you call landlord to fix. Your door does KKK, you call landlord to fix. Everything that happens within your house, you call the landlord to fix. So where do you take responsibility? Because first of all, it's your safety. It's not your landlord that is living inside the house. So which one will you do and which one would your landlord do? But before I come to you, Chika, to respond to that, we have another caller on the line. I think that's Bayo. Good morning, Bayo.
Turn down the volume of your TV set, please.
So you can hear us.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good
morning. We can hear you, sir. Listen to us directly.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Still listening to the TV.
Yeah, I want to make a contribution to the fire hazard that is happening.
Go ahead.
You are listening to yourself, sir. We can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the first thing first, as pertaining to the.
You have to put off your TV. Chika, please.
All right, so I just want to use this Afriland Tower incident as a case in point. And this applies to all buildings where you have a mix, a convergence of businesses, all encased in a high-rise. I think that it's important. Beyond the smaller operations of safety standards and procedures that you implement as individual businesses encased in one building, you need to remember that a building is a cohesive unit. And so once something affects a part of it, it might inadvertently affect the whole. Think about it. Think about a scenario where all of these businesses that are housed under the Afriland House, for instance, if they came together and put resources together and say, okay, we understand that, yes, we are individual separate companies and businesses, but we are all housed in one building. Every year we want to budget and earmark this amount for safety procedures. It even comes out to being smaller numbers, smaller figures for each business. So let's say each business is bringing 100,000 naira or 500,000 naira, and then total that, and they can come up with a very robust system that caters to safety for fire outbreaks, for whatever outbreaks. Think about how productive that would be, not just for each business, but for them as a whole. I think that safety is first a personal responsibility before it is an external responsibility of anybody else. Even in the market, the people who run the markets, the people who interface with these market men and women, who you say some are not so knowledgeable, are the runners of the market themselves. They are the ones who interface with them on a daily basis and know them so well and know how to speak the language of their hearts.
They understand.
So it's important that beyond the government, the market runners, the market chairmen, those who are responsible, group these people together and say, going forward every week, Emma contribute to 5,000 Avera extinguisher. That any extinguisher, I'm at the shop. You go to extinguisher. I got purchase shop. This responsibility falls within the individuals who own shops in the market and those who run the markets and get revenue from the markets.
Chika, KK, Jehovah, Omo Ibadan. You have spoken well. Honestly, we'll take a short break. This conversation is not stopping anytime soon. We'll come back to it. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish your kids. Milo 3-in-1 is such a smart choice. Milo, energy to go further.
From Nestle.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m., all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need help.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point oh.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer. Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small wind where they carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go buy ball.
Victor, even you they use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money Point, made for your progress.
Abundant farmland, vibrant workforce, strategic investments. Nigeria's land is fertile. And under President Tinubu, it's coming alive with new promise. Massive investments, modern tools, bigger harvest. A new chapter opens for the displaced with skills, income, and hope. Mega farms, smart farming, safer communities. From farm to agro-allied industries, jobs are growing, losses shrinking. We're not there yet, but we're on the road and moving fast. Nigeria's comeback story is not yet complete, but it is firmly underway.
Powered by Citizen Connect Initiative.
With Glovo, you've got the city at your fingertips. Hanging out with friends and craving fried chicken or smoky jollof with fried plantain? Order on Glovo and receive it in minutes. Running low on toiletries? Don't panic, Glovo's got you. Order on Glovo and receive it in minutes. Family time deserves quality food, so treat them to a sweet surprise. Yummy. Track the rider in real time as your order makes its way to you. Download Glovo, order anything you want and receive it in minutes.
Welcome back.
So I wanted to explain how this market things run from my own knowledge of things that I know. When they are selling in the morning like that, apart from the people who are renting kickbacks, people who are doing those extensions, put table near the store. So the original owner of the shop has bought his space or rented the space. Some people, with the authority of the market leaders, we give extension. All those extension in markets belong to the lodgers, the authorities, the Babaloja, Iyoloja.
In front of the main shops, those ones that extend out
of the market. So those extension, all those small table you see, they put small food. Those people too pay.
Yeah.
And those people block movement. If an emergency happen, who go first go? Now the owner of shop will be the person where they block them. So that's why I'm saying that people who are involved in these arrangements, these extensions that are beyond government. For instance, there's a market, let me not mention, that they just broke and rebuilt. And we had our stores rebought in millions.
It's always in millions.
In millions, so we now bought finish. So we were lucky to get a corner piece shop. And then they come bring table come for the extension. I said, told my auntie, I said, we cannot agree. That place is your game. You can you put your goods there. And she was like, because my auntie just doesn't like what I said, go and put it. If you take possession, no other person can take possession. But she's of the opinion that no, that place usually in the market belongs to market leader. And I'm wondering, if now they bring a total stranger, troublesome person, one nonsense, no get head person to her. She, for instance, let's say she sells perishable goods, and that person comes and puts some kind of, and starts to complain and starts to give her trouble. Who will then intervene? They go back to market leaders. Market leaders are very important and influential part of the market. So you to say no, then they don't run their office empty-handed. These people, market people, also fund their offices. So you're saying that with those kind of money, they cannot organize training from fire service in partnership with Lagos State Fire Service to come and tell them how to prevent fire in the market? To come and tell them, so that people come and drill them and say, if you block this part, if we come, our wire cannot pass, our leg cannot pass. They cannot give people training to come and tell them this wire that you draw from one person's shop to another shop so you can bypass.
Nima, let me ask you this question.
It's important that you do the right thing.
Representatives, are they equipped to understand what is needed?
That is what I am
saying. And they are.
Let me take this call. I'll come back to you to respond.
They are very exposed people. You think they are uneducated because
we have Harrison from Calabar. Harrison, are you there? Good morning, Harrison. Sorry, we lost him. So why I'm asking is, you know, sometimes we use politics and, okay, this person knows this person to give somebody, for instance, an ideology who is just there to make sure that you people pay the dues you're supposed to pay, but doesn't come in to say that, this place is not looking good. We have money contributed in our purse. We're going to have to call people to do this.
Or who demands a weekly report?
Thank you. Are they equipped to play the role that we have given them to play? Do we even know the roles they're supposed to play?
There are roles that they play beyond admin, and they're also very politically influential.
Yeah, I know that politics. Yeah.
And so they do more than that now. But then they are very exposed people also. They go and invest in other countries, and they see how advanced markets are. They travel more than you know. Their kids don't school here, most of them.
Okay.
And so when they come back and they pretend they don't know, it's because they don't want to do. If they come and tell you, for instance, that you are managing and say, another agbese, then they bring big. They might not want to do so. When the damage finally happens, all of us will not come and say,
government.
Izamua alone, let us accept it and move on. Let me just take Engineer Tijani's take on this. He says, my safety consciousness is missing culturally, and this should be addressed. Self-awareness is key in ensuring paradigm shift from this ignorance. You will see commuters in public transport watching drivers overspeed, all because they are after early arrival at their respective destination, rather than cautioning these drivers. For that type of building gutted by fire, each of the floor is meant to have a fire marshal, an evacuation plan printed and pasted on the walls, and the doors that are meant to have a substantial fire resistance. And the doors are also meant to have a substantial fire resistance, at least for 1 to 1.5 hours to contain the fire within the areas where it started. Fire design is an integral part of building design, and firefighting equipment are meant to be in place and visible. Employees and employers must have awareness of the evacuation route and fire safety plan at workplaces. When you attend an event, it is the responsibility of the event place manager and celebrant to inform their guests about the fire exits at the venue, and this should usually be done by the MC. But how many events have you seen where this has been announced? I never see it. We must work on our reorientation, and safety is everyone's business.
Yeah. So that safety consciousness is what we are lacking. But let me come to Chika for a bit. We've had complaints that when things like this happen, for instance, the fire outbreak, and first responders are coming in, the roads are usually blocked. The good boys of Lagos and the good boys of so and so place would block the roads. Of course, sometimes they respond faster than our first responders. So they are the ones there. No. Whatever they are doing there, they are there, maybe hailing them to fall down, to help in one way or the other. And then when the real responders come, they block the roads. They are struggling to find a way to go in there. How do we begin to raise consciousness for people to understand where their roles stop, so that the people who are supposed to go in there and rescue people get a chance to do that?
So I think it's important that we start to delineate these roles, really. It has never been the responsibility of an average well-wisher to come into a place where they have no training. They don't have the requisite skills that are needed to know how to care for each person that has been impacted by an emergency. They only do that because our systems are porous and our systems have failed. So if we know for a fact that the onus of responsibility lies on fire rescue services and our first responders to care for any and everyone who has been impacted by an emergency, then of course, naturally, working also with security operatives, I think it's very important that they work in tangent with security operatives, because sometimes you find that our people can be stubborn, but when they see law and order and they see the men in uniform, sometimes maybe you can get faster results. So it's important on these same roads that we are saying it is blocked, but when an ordinary civilian who for some reason has the money to carry security detail puts his siren, he will get access to go. But when we need our ambulances and the fire responders to pass, all of a sudden the roads are blocked. So I think it's important that we even impose heavy sanctions. Whoever is found wanting or getting in the way of people getting access to quick response, then we impose very heavy sanctions on these individuals. It's important that we do our part and then the government does their part also. But I really honestly think that the last statement that Nima read is super important. I remember when COVID broke out, sometimes, like you said, we're very reactionary. When COVID broke out, all of a sudden, every organization was on board with doing the right thing in terms of health, space distancing, having your wash hand. And then after a while, when COVID died, everything has gone back to status quo. This is what we do all the time. Now that this news has broken out, you will see, watch, every organization now will go to the drawing board and get HSE experts to come in. And then they do that once, twice, and that's it.
They will just relax. Because
so these are the problems. It's more of a mental problem. I don't know if we don't value our lives enough, or we don't value the lives of our employers and people in our spaces. Like you said, whoever is in charge of our house is responsible for the lives and safety of the people in that house. The event I hosted yesterday, I made sure to mention that we only had 2 exits on one end of the hall, and it is not right. How can you have a hall of over 2,000 people sitting capacity and you only have emergency and exits on one end of the hall? We're supposed to have both on balancing ends of the hall, and I did mention that to the organizers, but we take these things for granted.
We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll find a way to wrap up the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish your kids. Milo 3-in-1 is such a smart choice. Milo, energy to go further.
From Nestle.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small wind where they carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go buy ball.
Victor, even you they use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m., all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
My morning now when they break, me I know they shake, no matter the condition. I fit no carry first, but I know they carry last. Oh, but no they go transfer. Today now my day, and I go day okay. Cause hope full my chest, like bulletproof vest. Today now my day, and I go day okay. Until it reach my turn, the fire go be born. Nigeria go sweet oh. The fire go the burn no burn.
This message is from Hope Alive Initiative, a group that is committed to the well-being of the citizenry through advocacy for good governance and progressive ideals. Hope Alive Initiative, for the greater good of all.
In a world where every brand must choose between blending in and standing apart, meet D-Titan, our 3-in-1 card. ID, business and access in one card. A statement of prestige, crafted to unlock spaces and spark conversations. Or choose Duplex, our 2-in-1 card. ID and business in one card, where versatility meets design and every side tells your story. 2 worlds, 1 card. Because identity isn't what you hold, it's how you are remembered. The new face of ID for modern brands. Identifying, where identity meets innovation.
welcome back. The time is so short, but I think we've covered pretty much everything. Nima, you had the final words to say?
Yeah, I was going to talk, but let me quickly take, you
have to choose one because we don't have time. Okay. Are you talking or you are reading comments?
Let me take comments.
Okay.
Dorcas Wakobi says, local government should be held responsible for training and implementing these safety rules.
I agree.
And because people are to be schooled since they are common every day. I also think that, local governments should not allow touts, in the markets anymore. Because when fire happens like this, they are busy looting. Most of the time when you see them preventing the rescue team, because their target is to get into the fire. When LG's headquarters got burnt in my neighborhood, they did not, in fact, our police first respond. We hear first. Preventing any tout from approaching before the rescue team came.
Okay, Ramatu?
Yeah, so I just think that we should have people in place to handle the issue before the main ones come. So all those people that are looking around, moving around, they don't have what to do in the market, you can employ them, the government can employ them, even it's not, maybe not even much money, but even small, at least those will be able to make sure that the place is a bit safe, most especially for those of us coming from other places to come and shop. Make it safe for us before the main people come to rescue. So I think we should put that into consideration.
I'll just say finally that it's important that we as parents start with our kids. We need to start to imbibe health and safety principles into our children, make them understand why this is important and why it needs to sink deep down. As for institutions and organizations, it's very important that we invest heavily in health and safety. We cannot do without it because lives are really on the line. And for the government, I know that the government, Lagos State government is doing really well, but there's so much more that can be done, especially for huge outbreaks like this. In an urban city like Lagos with our population, we cannot spare any efforts. More is required to tackle these issues.
Thank you so much, ladies. We've really touched on everything. We talked about the fact that we need to have fire drills regularly across board, organizations, markets, and all of that. This is also where the local government should step in and do what it's needed to do. Every local government should have a way to find to train, the organizations, the offices, the markets within their purview, right? They have that responsibility. Then the time frame for response also, we need to do something about it. So we cannot have a fire outbreak and then we see people trying to rescue themselves before the fire responders or the first responders come in. The government needs to step in. And when you watch some of these movies, I've never seen a fire outbreak abroad, but I've seen in the movies that the first thing is government comes in, whether it's the police or the fire service, and they cordon off the area. So nobody, no touts, and Nigerians, we need to be respectful. So when you see people in uniform, and they say, please, we don't want you here, go. Please go.
If you don't ensure your business against fire,
that's what happened.
By yourself, you go help yourself.
Yes, so fire service positioning as well. Those very high-rise buildings that have a lot of population and activities going on, we should have at least 1 or 2 fire stations stationed around those places so that it's easy. We also talked about blocking of the roads by our Lagos good boys. That's not acceptable. The responsibility of even the people who are selling in the market on how they can ensure, we talked about this safety consciousness. Make sure that things are working, and when they are not working, shout about it. Say something so that we know that, okay, we are holding the government by the jugular, we are holding the Lodger by the jugular, we are holding the local government by the jugular. Then building maintenance is very, very important. Sometimes we don't maintain our buildings. We wait for things like this to happen before we say something. And all of us have a responsibility when it comes to this. Thank you so much, ladies, for your contributions. I wish the people the best, those who have lost their properties, those that have been affected. We pray that they get, healing fast so that they can move on to their business and see how government can do something to sort of reassure the people who were impacted by this. Thank you so much, ladies. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye now.